So the Cyclones, the regular
made it to the semis yesterday, but Oklahoma State and Texas went home, and today it's Oklahoma and Iowa State. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with John Sungbold, and welcome to Kansas City, Missouri, in what should be a really outstanding matchup this afternoon. Pfizer, we know a lot about Marcus. Nahara, we know a lot about him, but I think probably the matchup we need to talk about, John, is the Johnson boys. One for each team. It has made a definite difference as far as making it to the championship.
Well, let's talk about Nolan Johnson first at Oklahoma. Last 3 ball games, over 19 points a game. Another offensive weapon. Not only that, he's a great defender. Stevie Johnson, let's not say garbage player, folks. He does everything about himself. 16 rebounds on the Friday win over Baylor. Yesterday against Oklahoma State, 21 points, 11 rebounds. He does everything on the floor. Now he scores points.
This is the way the starting lineups are going to go today. First of all, for the Oklahoma Sooners, the number 3 seed in this tournament, Raymond, Price, Johnson, Nahara, and Rinzai Stone. 31 points for Eduardo yesterday against the Texas Longhorns. And for the top seed, the Cyclones of Iowa State, Tinsley, Nurse, Horton, as they go with the 3-guard rotation, Stevie Johnson and Marcus Pfizer. Marcus with 19 points yesterday, 30 points in 5 of his last 7 games.
Well, without a doubt, the best offensive player in college basketball is Marcus Pfizer. You mentioned the 30 points, averaged 33 coming into the tournament, started with 38 points on Friday night.
Eduardo, the heart and soul of his Oklahoma team. It's not even an arguable thing. That's the way it is. Marcus Pfizer, well, a lot of people in other parts of the country have not seen this young man play. He is a junior, and he really has come on for Iowa State in a way that I think maybe even the coaches are a little bit surprised. He is outstanding and quite a physical young fella, 6'8", 265 pounds. Tip will go to Pfizer. And it's Iowa State on offense first. 2 outstanding defensive teams. They will match it up. They will say man-to-man, then they'll switch it sometime to a zone defense. This Oklahoma team starting out man-to-man. The quick double team on Pfizer, puts it on the floor, loses it. J.R. Raymond, Oklahoma. Raymond for 3. Can light it up, but he misses on that one. Stone tried to chip it back, but it is Johnson who comes away with it. And bounce pass to Pfizer. He scores it, and he was fouled by Stone.
The hands and the finish. The pass by Jamal Tinsley, their all-conference first-team point guard. Iowa State loves to push the basketball. Not a very big team. Tinsley outstanding when he has it. Look at the bounce pass. More importantly, look at the catch and the finish.
Well, I talked about the strength of Pfizer, and there is a great example right there that Stone could not yank his arm away from the basketball.
The young man plays with such a focus and a purpose on the floor. Rarely loses his concentration.
Misses the free throw, but Iowa State goes on top 2-0. The officials today, veteran crew, Steve Welmer, the referee, Scott Thornley, and Tom O'Neill, the umpires in this one.
Raymond must be careful with the basketball. Tinsley, quick hands.
Nurse against Price, pass inside, quick hands by Johnson, but take it right back for the Sooners.
Stevie Johnson guarding Eduardo Nahara. Tough matchup both ways.
Shot clock under 10. Nahara with the reverse, and he'll knock down his first 2 of the afternoon.
We have seen Eduardo lack some confidence late in this season scoring the basketball. Yesterday exploded with 31 already. Looked to take it to where he could score it in about the 10-foot range.
And particularly in the second half of the game against Texas yesterday, his confidence seemed to really soar. Bouncer to Pfizer. Give the assist to Stevie Johnson, and very easy hoop for the Cyclones.
Unselfish basketball. What a great matchup between these 2 clubs.
Pfizer with the first 4 points of the afternoon for Iowa State. Almost stolen again, that time Nurse, and he does cause the turnover. Price couldn't hold on.
And Ron, you understand when you watch Iowa State warm up, they will not impress you in warm-ups. They have Pfizer at 6'8", and then everybody else is 6'4" and under. So you're not impressed until you watch them play. Defensively outstanding, they get after you. Offensively, they take the right shots at the right time.
Well, you can see J.R. Raymond talking with his head coach, or listening as the case was right there. And getting the near full. He'll be back in shortly. Newton, number 20 in the lineup, replacing him.
Pfizer can shoot it from outside.
Tinsley, here's the guy. That ball touched by Nahara and then missed by Stevie Johnson, but he touched it. 2 turnovers, Iowa State.
Strength of Iowa State is Tinsley with the ball getting to the paint. Rarely can any defender keep that young man out of the paint. Maybe the best ball handler in college basketball.
You won't get any disagreement from any of the other 11 teams in the Big 12 Conference. Newton left alone, passed up the shot, drives it. Pfizer intimidates, can't get it to go. And Stone gets the rebound, but a whistle inside. Well, they met one time this year, North against South, won by Oklahoma in double overtime. And Raymond and Heskett with 6 3-point field goals each.
Yeah, in that ball game, Heskett was the difference. Sooners led by as many as 16. A couple plays down the stretch, Iowa State had a chance to win. Tinsley missed a layup. Michael Nurse missed a free throw, went to another overtime, and then the second one, Oklahoma blew Iowa State out.
Tough thing for J.R. Raymond. He's sitting there not back in the game yet as Pfizer scores point number 6. He's having to get an earful again because Newton just turned it over. The guards are not playing well for Oklahoma right now.
Outstanding offensive low post position by Pfizer. He is a low down low.
Nahara fakes the reversal, can't get it to go, tipped back out, and Stone will solidify it with a new 35 for the Sooners, and then they turn it over.
Another turnover.
Nurse for 3. This thing right now going the pace I think that Iowa State wants, and certainly not to the advantage of Oklahoma.
Exactly right. Oklahoma wants to get half-court set. They're very efficient on their offensive end, but 4 turnovers already.
Johnson on the floor. Does he call a timeout? No, gets it away to Nahara. And he is fouled by Tinsley.
Let's take a look offensively. Marcus Pfizer again can go outside but likes to work inside. He puts Eduardo Nahara on his back. It's good low post position and the pass right on the money.
And Eduardo very wisely. No sense in getting a cheap foul there because the big ship has already gone out of the harbor.
Well, you take a look at his numbers against Baylor. A Big 30 record, Big 12 tournament record, 38 points, 12 of 13 from the foul line on Friday night. Just simply dominated that ball game.
And how about his start here this afternoon? 3 of 3, every shot from point-blank range. Great assist from his teammates.
Where he's become more valuable this season, Ron, is his patience on the offensive end. Does not worry if he's not scoring the basketball. Will step away if he's double-teamed. Can go outside and shoot it.
Eduardo, a young guy that, as Avila checks into the lineup, another youngster from Mexico, who is from the West Coast, west of Mexico City. He's a 6'11" young fella. 6-4 Iowa State as we're about to have played the first 4 minutes of this championship game.
And Kelvin Sampson will change his defense, go to more of a soft zone. Pfizer was dominating inside. You've got to be careful of Nurse and Horton now with the jump shots. And Tinsley will still penetrate against this zone.
Potentially you could see him point and say, give me a screen, but he squared up and missed the jumper.
Matchup of 2 guys from Brooklyn. Tinsley on Nolan Johnson.
Newton left alone. Boy, he almost missed everything.
Oh, what a pass.
Great no look and a block inside by Avila on Stevie Johnson. Iowa State wanted a foul on that. Offensive foul.
Smart play by Stevie Johnson. He really enticed Eduardo Nahara to take the jump shot. Has not been Eduardo's strength this season.
So let's take a break. 15:41 left in this Big 12 championship. Cyclones by a couple.
ESPN and ESPN2, home of the Women's NCAA Basketball Championship.
It's the fastest growing sport in the country. A sport defined by performance, determination, and teamwork. The pros know when conditions lean to the extreme, you got to go with the performance. And the 66 team is driven to perform. To protect your engine start to finish, drive with Phillips 66 Trop Arctic Premium Quality Motor Oil.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
Hi.
Hi, I noticed you didn't dial 10-10-321. Don't you want to save money?
Well, sure, but to get a low rate, you have to pay a monthly fee.
Not with 10-10-321. You get 50% off calls over 10 minutes. That's 8 cents a minute, day or night, without a monthly fee.
8 cents, no fee. I really can save a lot with 10-10-321.
Exactly. Dial 10-10-321.
The new BMW X5.
Coming up at 5 o'clock Eastern, NCAA Women's Tournament Selection Special presented by State Farm. Hosted by Robin Roberts, the show will exclusively unveil the 64 teams in the Women's 2000 NCAA Tournament. Jay Billis and Vera Jones provide analysis. ESPN exclusive home of the Women's NCAA Basketball Tournament. And have a look right there. The women's team for Iowa State, part of them, last night, they defeated Texas by 10 points here in Kansas City to win the Big 12 title. Where will they go, and where will the Cyclones be seated? Well, a lot of people think it certainly will be very high, at least a 4 or a 3 seed.
So defense got to stay with Pfizer if he goes outside.
Well, first shot that he's missed. Johnson, nice work on the board, and he has it stripped. J.R. Raymond comes away with.
Stevie Johnson having a harder time this afternoon against the taller Oklahoma team. Avila Nahara.
Interesting that Oklahoma has gotten off to a little bit of a rugged start offensively, but yet they're keeping it very close with a 6-4 margin right now.
Nolan Johnson quiet so far. Hasn't looked to score.
Misses that one badly. Tipped by Nahara, and it'll come back down to Iowa State. Stevie Johnson working against Avila, score it, and he was fouled.
Again, the push of the basketball by Tinsley. What Iowa State wants to do is just find openings, and Tinsley will find you. Stevie Johnson running the floor. Good ball fake down low. He did this often yesterday against Oklahoma State. We mentioned his 21 points. There's a reaction from the senior. His last trip to Kansas City. Boy, how about that? Impressive so far in this tournament play.
Misses on the free throw, but Pfizer is right there, and he'll follow it and miss the return. And Tinsley just picked up his second foul. Decided he was going to sneak up and try to catch J.R. Raymond off guard, and they're going to have to be very careful. In fact, quickly, Hawkins is off the bench.
Well, not a smart foul, obviously. Tinsley shakes his head, understands the mistake, and now he has to sit down. Changes the scope of how Iowa State plays just a little bit. Michael Nurse there off guard. He can handle the basketball. Last year he was a point guard. Horton can handle the basketball.
Price, that ball touched last by Hawkins. Hawkins goes up and over the table. John Brody of the Oklahoma City paper, Daily Oklahoma. Nice job. Good hands, John. Oklahoma only 1 of 6 from the field to open this one. Nolan Johnson almost loses it. And this continual pressure by Iowa State defensively really hounding the ball handling of the Sooners.
Well, right now, Oklahoma out of sync. That is not the type of shots they normally take.
It's not a shot you take at Horse. Nurse. Offensive foul.
Sooners are hanging in, though, on the defensive end. Kelvin Sampson in Nolan Johnson's space, trying to get that young man going. Had a tough win Friday night against Missouri, overtime. One of the best college games I've seen it a long time.
Boy, that was a dandy, and I know you were working that one. And in overtime, it was something to see. Newton, who is a local youngster, knocked down the crucial three that gave Oklahoma the win.
Yeah, Kelly Newton, Wyandotte High School product, Kansas City, Kansas. Came back home in front of friends and family.
Naharaj has picked up his second foul. So two of the stars of the game with only 13:43 left until halftime, or I should say that much time left, with a couple of fouls each.
Well, again, probably not a smart foul. Once the play is over, Eduardo's got to get out of there. And going after that ball with a guy in front of you, you know you don't want to pick up your second. Here's the improvement, though, Ron, of Oklahoma this year. They have been able to win down the stretch with Eduardo not having to score points. They won the game Friday night with Eduardo fouling out with about 5 minutes left in that ball game. So they have enough offensive weapons, and they're solid enough defensively to play without Naharaj.
Well, they come out in the zone here. Haywood checks in, replacing Naharaj. Iowa State opened up 3 for 3. Since then, they are 1 of 6 from the field. Pfizer puts it on the floor and loses it. J.R. Raymond.
Good hand, see if the Sooners can get an open look. Right now, Iowa State closing all avenues.
Johnson fouled by Hawkins. Pfizer, I beg your pardon. Thought for sure they were going to call that on Hawkins, but Pfizer gets the call, and it is his first. 5th team foul on Iowa State. Avila against Pfizer. No place to go. Comes back out on top, and they go back to him again. Good jump hook. Nicely done.
Solid play by Avila. Kick it back out, reestablish yourself. What they want him to do, though, is attack Pfizer. See if he can score over the top, make Marcus Pfizer play a little defense.
8-6 Cyclones. The bouncer inside to Pfizer. They cover him up with 3 people, and he still takes it up and scores.
Patience. He stays with it. Avila's got to hold his ground already with 8 points early in this game.
4 of 6 from the field. Horton comes out. Playing against Raymond. The high screen hit by Pfizer. He knocks it loose. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson driving. And it's going to be an offensive foul.
Ron, disruption so far for Oklahoma on the offensive end. They just can't get into anything.
11:55 left until halftime. Cyclones by 4.
32-75.
I didn't bring my purse.
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
It did look good on her.
Will keep the upset away. Hey, trust me, I got plenty of them.
Happy family, happy browsing. Find everything housing. Everything housing. CaldwellBanker.com. Online. Happy family, happy browsing. Find everything housing. Happy family, happy browsing. Find everything housing. CaldwellBanker.com.
Big 12 championship game. Iowa State by 4. Oklahoma trying to stay in this ball game. And Victor Avila, who we've seen improvement through the course of the year, scoring the ball. Nice little jump hook here. But then on the defensive end, this is where the Sooners are having problems. Marcus Pfizer, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys standing there. still gets it point blank to the rim. Power and strength.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a intimidation, a force underneath there, isn't he?
Man, 265 pounds. And again, Ronnie has such a focus on the court.
Out of Arcadia, Louisiana, averages almost 24 a game, 7.5 rebounds, 72% free throw shooter, and 44% from beyond the arc. He doesn't do it a lot, but when he does, you better have a hand on him. Hawkins picks up the dribble, gets it back out front. It's fortunate they were in a zone because that had been man coverage. That little lollipop would have been picked off.
Now, Sooners defense pretty solid in this zone, challenging shooters. Horton's a good one, though. Horton and Nurse are the guys you've got to be careful of. Once they get it going, they will spot up and can bury them from deep.
First three of the afternoon for either team. Horton hits the three-pointer 40% of the time. Nahara back in the game. Fortunate he didn't pick up his third foul as Pfizer blocks the shot, and it's going to go the other direction.
You know, we talked about Iowa State and their weapons, and this guy with the ball, Michael Nurse, can shoot it. Cantrell Horton, when he gets it going. He knocked in 4 threes on Friday, and here defensively, when you attack, Marcus Pfizer is going to be waiting.
Stone quickly off the bench as Avila picked up his second foul. Ian Johnson about to check back into the OU lineup.
OU back to man-to-man. Here's our marquee matchup right here.
Pfizer got it. Now that to me is what is so impressive about him, because he can not only play with his back to the hoop, he can create off the dribble.
Well, he does it off the dribble. Kelvin Sampson needs and wants a timeout, and really didn't even look like a matchup. Nahara and Pfizer. Pfizer took him right off the dribble.
So let's take a timeout. This place sounding much akin to Hilton South. It's all Cyclones.
Kansas City's famous for doing a lot of things the right way. Unfortunately, pizza is not one of them.
That's why I opened The Dish, famous stuffed pizza restaurant and bar, to bring to you the gourmet pizza that Chicago made famous. As you can see, my pizza is like no other in Kansas City. So I invite you to Liberty to try this Chicago classic. And make sure to tell your server you want the best pizza in Kansas City, and I'll give you 10% off your bill.
Hey, now KC does pizza the right way. The Dish famous stuffed pizza. It's stuffed to perfection.
In my business, I can tear about anything, but I can't tear up a Bobcat.
Check out the full line of Bobcat equipment at KC Bobcat in Olathe and Blue Springs.
Stuart and I get the playoff picture back from the darkroom when we come back.
We're clear.
Oh, the prompter's going too fast. I can't keep up.
It's not the teleprompter, it's you, not stop the...
My throat, I can hardly talk.
Give him some tea, give him some tea.
I can't go back out there. I don't want to go back out. Cut me. Cut me, Lou.
Come on, baby, come on. Snap out of me. Don't be a lollipop. Get out there. Tonight's your night.
Oh, without question, these days, the word on everybody's lips.
Sooners better be careful. This is a 9-2 run by Iowa State right now.
And Marcus Pfizer puts it on the floor. Gets away with a little bump right there. Little elbow, little push, extended it. But the elevation on his jump shot, Nahara doesn't challenge, and he's going to have to. Eduardo frustrated by the push, but they're going to allow that to happen.
Only 2 touches by Nahara so far in the game. And you have to wonder how long this assignment of trying to guard Pfizer is going to hamper him offensively.
Well, it's a tough chore. What we've seen in Oklahoma the last couple of weeks is their ability to give it to Nolan Johnson and spread the floor. We haven't seen that yet, but they did it against Oklahoma State a week ago in the big win in Stillwater. They did it Friday night against Missouri. They simply cleared out for Nolan Johnson to go to work, but we have not seen Nolan alone with the basketball.
Substitute in the ballgame, number 15, Martin Rancic, who is out of Slovakia, played his high school basketball at St. Louis Park High School in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Broke a foot early in the season. In fact, the first game we had up there, John, in the Big 12 was against Missouri, and that began his absence and has just come back.
Tinsley, great hands.
Tinsley with another steal, and Horton will score it. Tinsley has 83 steals coming into this ball game.
He's the guy that will pick your pocket from all angles. Soft hands, quick hands. Back in the line, he's got 2 fouls.
I said the Sooners need to be careful because this is like a home game for Iowa State. There are so many people wearing red and gold in this arena as a foul is called on Rancic. Martin grabbing Nahara.
Well, phenomenal how many people travel with Iowa State. They have filled Kansas City up for the women's games and for the men's games. Defense inside. You talked about Martin Rancic now back in the lineup. Picks up that personal, and Martin has to, when he comes to the lineup now, he's always been a little bit of a loose cannon with the passing and the shooting. Since he's been back, they've curtailed him a little bit, trying to fit him into the squad. It does add some depth to the squad.
Not only gives him depth, but I think gives him some muscle, and he can be a smart player. And they have told him what his role is. Heskett for three.
Yeah, he's got to hit those. Tim's got to hit the open ones.
Oklahoma needing a big spark and needing it quickly. Otherwise, Iowa State trying to run away and hide with this championship game here at Kemper Arena in Kansas City. 17-6. And the Sooners, how uncharacteristic is that? As Pfizer up, misses that one, but the follow inside, no basket.
Brandon Hawkins only 6'3", the freshman. They're going to wipe it off.
Nolan Johnson gets the foul.
Now, Kelvin Sampson not happy, but what happens when you focus on one player like this? Everybody's kind of becomes a spectator. Defensively, you're watching Pfizer, you forget about your man once in a while. The reaction, March Madness.
14 fouls against the Sooners. It's the first foul against Nolan Johnson. Second, I beg your pardon. Brandon, a 67% free throw shooter. Barely drew iron on that one. Going under 9 minutes in this first half.
Good pass, good shooter. Price, good decision by Eduardo. Not a great outside shooter, has been inconsistent, but Hollis Price can knock him in.
Well, that takes it out of double figures, and good news for the Sooners because they needed to pick me up and quickly.
You'll watch Nolan Johnson will sag off Tinsley. Not a great outside shooter. He'll try to keep him out of the paint.
Rancic almost steals it. Johnson gets it back and gets it off to Price. Price, nicely done. That's a tough shot going to his left. Kisses it high off the glass. And a young freshman coming up big right now. They needed somebody to do it. But the freshman from New Orleans, Price, a couple of big trips for him.
He's really matured all season long and becoming a tougher player.
Hawkins, way off. Martin Rancic inside, misses. The follow by Hawkins, and he missed, but he was fouled.
Well, you mentioned Hollis Price, the freshman who early in the season struggled kind of finding his way in Big 12 play, but as of late he has been really special for Kelvin Sampson. Last 6 ball games, over 12 points, his ability to handle it and shoot it. On Friday night in the overtime, down 2 points or before overtime, 2 seconds left, his 2 free throws send it to overtime. Not easy to stand there in front of all these fans and not 2 in, and there's nothing but net on Friday night.
Tell you, his 5 points in the last 60 seconds here has kind of awakened the Sooners because they were down 17-6, and it looked as though they were sinking. Rancic gets a break, as does Horton. Gets them both.
Boy, Hawkins has given his team some solid minutes.
Well, it gives them a rotation now of at least 8, if not 9 players, with Martin coming back.
Paul Shirley, one of their forwards, 6'9", is out with a foot injury, and they hope he's back for the NCAA play.
Nahara. And there shows the intimidation, the outlet pass, and look who it is, Pfizer. 265 pounds, and he runs the floor with ease.
Iowa State, when the shot's up, they like to send 2 guys breaking. They're an outstanding defensive team that blocks out, they get rebounds, and then they push. And their guards can find somebody.
10-point lead, Cyclones. This crowd trying to help their team take it over. Nahara. He's off the mark. Tinsley with the rebound, and look at the break here. They've got numbers again. Hawkins got it.
You want a little addition off the bench? How about the freshman Hawkins? Woo!
Hawkins with 4 points.
We talked about their ability to get the rebound, and look at Tinsley's head and eyes are up, and Pfizer simply outruns everybody. Again, Ron, when the shot goes up, these guys are going to get the rebound, and then they go. Hawkins this time, another guy that can handle the ball, create, doesn't score a lot, but catching up into March Madness, having fun. 4 points this afternoon, and Jamal Tinsley, a little pat on the head.
Good no call by the officials there because Heskett actually was moving into him. But as we mentioned off the top of the telecast, a veteran group with Steve Welmer, the referee, and Scott Thornley and Tommy O'Neill, and trying to let the teams decide who wins the championship. And that, of course, is what you always like to see.
Well, how about the crowd here?
Oh, when I said Hilton South now, since the women played last night, and they brought so many people for that, even some of those fans stayed over to cheer for the men, and they were able to grab tickets from Oklahoma State or Texas fans. And I mean, they must have 75–80% of the crowd here.
Stevie Johnson working hard, not allowing Nahara the basketball on the post.
Price, nice give to Avila. Did he travel? Nope, he was fouled.
Nice play by Price.
We're going to go 1-on-1. 1-on-1.
You can tell right now, Ron, that Oklahoma not having many easy looks in their half-court sets.
They're not, and one of the things that really stands out is Nahara, who normally is so confident and around the hoop. He gets every garbage thing that is there, and he's missed a couple of really close shots there.
Missed some close ones, and the other thing is he hasn't been able to establish that low block position. Stevie Johnson has pushed him away from it and has got on the front side and made Eduardo step out, and that's where you want him to beat you over the top with jump shots.
Victor Avila, a senior, as we mentioned, also from Mexico, as is Eduardo Nahara. We'll take a break. 23-13. Cyclones by 10.
They call me Mother Nature. I'm kind of like an adoption agency. I'm looking for good homes. You can start with a plain, flat field. This has got potential. We can create a Garden of Eden right there. Ta-da! These just came in today from the local grower. We have a guarantee on all of our plants 1 year. I take pride in the level of customer service that I give to you. What makes Home Depot different than everybody else is our customer service. It's great customer service.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Mom, Dad, a 37-year-old that lives at home should pay rent.
Great, Mark.
But I want airline miles. Or points.
I don't understand.
My rent would earn me airline miles. And with points, I could upgrade to, like, grandma's room.
Like a rewards program.
Whatever.
Yeah, what does this look like, a Holiday Inn?
More ways to collect and redeem points than any other hotel program. That's today's Holiday Inn.
Hey, guys. Do you want to try a Reason?
Yeah, I'm game. Me too. What's up with Reason? Got a lot of chocolate. Great chew, too. Not too hard, not too soft. Can I try one more?
Mighty chocolatey, mighty Reason. You gotta try them.
Enterprise? Hi. My car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Cyclones by 10 in this Phillips 66 Big 12 championship.
Well, key matchup we talked about earlier, Eduardo Nahara seeing what he can do. Stevie Johnson has been outstanding. Eduardo, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Marcus Pfizer, on the other hand, has been spectacular. 6 of 9 from the field, 12 points. Has really dominated inside, and when he runs the floor, it's been an easy finish.
So that's quite a sight. Those guards looked up, and here goes not just a cruiser, it's a battleship running down the court. Runs as well as they do, takes the pass, and there's certainly nothing you can do about it.
I'll take a look at the numbers. Last time, Eduardo started strongly, and then Pfizer's ball club made a pretty big comeback in that overtime game, double overtime.
Nahara, 1 of 4. He has 4 points on the afternoon.
They'll back off Stevie Stevie Johnson, not an outside shooter.
Pfizer for 3, maybe a little ill-advised right there, but missed it.
Nolan Johnson, only 2 field goal attempts. He's a guy that has been really their special player last couple weeks.
Oh, Johnson has it taken away. Hawkins is the man who caused it, and Tinsley with the spin move, and he'll score.
Well, we say smooth a lot when Tinsley has it in his hands. You can see why.
You really like him,
no? Rarely do you see a guy that can handle the ball so easily and effortlessly. He can put it from his right to his left, and you don't even notice the bounce. I mean, he's that good.
Pfizer causes Avila to miss from close range and then gets the rebound. And at the other end, with the left hand, Tinsley again.
El Jamal thinks he's back in Rucker Park in New York City, where he used to watch his idols and watching them play, the Sleepy Floyd, Stephon Marbury's, and this guy has everything you want in a point guard. All conference, first team this year, uses the body, puts it in his left hand, the softness off the glass. Well, what a special year he has had, and that is why Iowa State is highly ranked.
And the interesting thing is coming over from junior college ball last year, and we have heard some pro scouts say they'd like to talk to him about coming out after this year.
Well, again, I haven't seen a point guard in a long time handle the ball like he handles it. When you have a guy that can do that, it makes everybody else's job easier on the floor.
Nahara for 3. He's off the money. And here comes Pfizer. He had Stevie Johnson open, but he didn't see him in time. Misses the shot off the glass, and Avila will quiet this crowd for the moment. 15 points. Cyclone lead. 5 minutes to play until halftime. Avila misses. Nahara with the follow, blocked by Pfizer.
And here they come again.
Nurse will take it the distance.
Everything going the Cyclone way. Nurse actually looked like he lost control of that ball.
Well, let's watch the sequence and why they are in front 30-13. Here's the block.
Eduardo working hard the offensive glass. Every time he goes up, there's a crowd around him, and then the Cyclones get going, and Michael Nurse loses control, but gains it just in time. Boy, they're on a roll.
Men's tournament special coming up. 6:30 Eastern time. Chris Fowler is going to host this 90-minute show. Digger Phelps and Quinn Buckner, along with Dick Vitale, is in Charlotte, will provide insight and analysis of the 64 teams who will compete for the NCAA National Championship. Also, Michelle Tafoya will report live from Indianapolis, side of the selection committee meetings. Ron Franklin, John Sunbull, glad to have you along from Kemper Arena in Kansas City. Fast break points, and again, I talked about in this first half the things that are rare that we normally see that we have not seen from the Sooners. They have no fast break points. Iowa State has 10.
Well, outstanding play out of the timeout. The key to all that, Ron, they're shooting 20% from the field. Oklahoma is. They're missing shots, and that allows this Cyclone team to get on a horse because they will run.
About to hit the 4-minute mark in the first half. Back to a 15-point margin. Nurse to Stevie Johnson. I think Stevie was looking for one with that much pepper on it.
Stevie Johnson, the type of players that knows his strength, knows his weaknesses, stays away from things he doesn't do well.
Nice job of defense by Price to force the 6th turnover for Iowa State. Larry Eustace up and beckoning for his team. Hey, now let's don't do a little walkabout here. We got a great lead, heading for a championship, but let's don't squat it right now.
Boy, Michael Nurse just gave a shoulder to Nahara. Eduardo coming off the screen to go to low post position. Michael Nurse checked him all the way out of bounds.
Horton goes up and takes the ball away from Avila. No look pass in the middle. Pfizer couldn't hold on. Showed us a timeout. 3:39 left until halftime. It's 30-15 Iowa State. And this is the guy, the reason that the Cyclones are posturing to win the Big 12.
Easy, boys, easy. Whoa, excuse me.
Hey, is that a collect call? Who are you? I'm the 1-800 Collect Advice guy. Use 1-800 Collect and save the people you call a buck or two. 1-800. How about a C-O-L-L? Can't spell collect without a T. Thanks. Use 1-800 Collect. Save a buck or two.
It's a great name. It's beansnow.com.
You type in beansnow.com. We're different from other bean sites. It's a website, computers, you click, and the next day beans appear. And we're looking for some venture caps, some seed money. We're just trying to get some cash.
It's not one of those dirty websites, is it?
Oh, no.
The cold filtered cool of Miller Genuine Draft.
I'm starting an internet website, and I'm calling it CaptainBarky.com.
That's my doggish name.
Huh.
Never miss a genuine opportunity.
Got those no Folgers to wake us up blues. Need that fresh mountain grown taste to start the day. For the blues will start flowing away. Got that good feeling coming on. We're Folgers hot, steamy, and strong. Oh yeah. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. Yeah.
30-15, the Cyclones. Take a look at this action.
Well, physical play. Oklahoma tried to run the same play on the other side of the floor, this time down, and the bump by Nurse. Nahara goes out. All of a sudden, you disrupt their offensive play, the thing they called. And the thing that will impress you about Iowa State, their guards are physically strong, Ron. They bump you, they push you. I mean, Cantrell Horton goes 225 pounds, though he's only 6'1".
Here's to back up your point. Listen to this balance and rebounding. Pfizer 3, Rancic 3, Stevie Johnson with 3, Nurse, one of the guards 3, Horton and Tinsley both with 2 guards as well. So they are expected to work both inside and out, and they do.
Well, back to that thought, when they walk on the floor, you think, well, they got 1 6'8" guy. Look at all the other little guys. But 6'1", 225, 6'1", 200, 6'1", 190 pounds. They are physically strong.
Good move. Nahara trying to step things up, which he needs desperately to do. His ball club down by 13 points.
Oklahoma needs a good 3 minutes here. Couple stops, couple fast breaks, couple open jump shots. Get themselves back into this ball game.
Stevie Johnson comes out high. Michael Nurse, he was the point guard last year. And he's going to take it all the way to the hoop, takes it from the right to the left and scores.
He's going to show you why he was a point guard last year, although a better player this year.
He wasn't happy with that. He said, I'm an off guard, that's where I want to play, and that's why Tinsley has been so valuable to them. To move Tinsley to the point, and of course, Nurse shows he can do either.
Yeah, Michael, a better shooter than he is a ball handler, such as leading the good. He's a better spot-up shooter.
Gets another rebound, his third.
But the advantage for Larry Eustace is if Tinsley goes out, Michael Nurse can step right in that role.
Pfizer, double team, now a triple.
Look at the patience.
Nurse for 3.
The patience, though, of Pfizer not to get in a hurry on the initial double team. He waited, they backed off, and they came again, and what Nurse did was just found an opening, and then Pfizer put it across court to him.
Nurse with 7 points. Price for 3. Stone tips it back out to Heskett, and a fresh 35. We're under 2 to play. The Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship from Kansas City. Price. Well, I'll tell you, you're right. The freshman has stepped it up, and it has really helped this ball club. He's got 7, and it's come all in the last 5 minutes. 3 again. Not there, but there's Hawkins to hustle for the rebound for the Cyclones.
One-man triple team. It's hard to block the rest of them out.
Marcus Pfizer called for his second foul.
Add the triple team and watch Marcus Pfizer. Well, there's the bump, and we call that right away.
Well, coming up on the 7-Up halftime report, Bill Pito and Digger Phelps standing by. Who's king to the ACC? It's, of course, the Dukies. And a surprise in the SEC. How about those Razorbacks?
Nolan Richardson, boy, they're playing well.
Pfizer goes out, and with 1:19 to play until halftime, going to get a break. That's going to be a lane violation had he missed it. Hawkins in there a little quickly.
Renzai, 52% free throw shooter, so everybody understands the possibility of being a rebound here.
Gets them both. 14-point lead. Iowa State. We're about to hit the 1-minute mark in his opening half. Many people think Iowa State, should they win today, certainly has worked and put themselves in a position for a #1 seed. I don't know. There are dissenters, people who are not pro Big 12, who say they're going to be a 2nd seed.
Well, I promise you they're number 2. There's a chance of #1.
Hawkins pulls up. Nothing there. Stone with a rebound. 5 rebounds for Stone now.
I know one thing. If they're placed in Minneapolis, the whole state of Iowa will be there just like they are here.
They'll pack that place. You're right. Heskett for 3.
Big hoop. Big hoop just simply run for momentum, for confidence.
That makes it an 11-point ball game as we go under 30 seconds until intermission.
Well, the Cyclones want the last shot and the last shot only. Possibility for a tip, yes, but don't give the Sooners any crack on the other end.
12 seconds. Nope, better go to work now. Horton in the middle, puts up a not-so-good shot, and now a foul on Evans.
Not a smart foul.
With 4.4 seconds, and all of a sudden Oklahoma down by, what, 17 a moment ago, and they can make this a 9-point game to head into the locker room.
Well, 5 straight points, and not a smart play, and all of a sudden the momentum changes in the Sooner locker room. They will be talking about the things they did positively the last couple minutes. Iowa State will address the plays they made in the last minute.
Haywood prepares to check in, but he's going to come in for the shooter. They don't want Nahara to get his 3rd foul with 4.4 seconds left until halftime.
Well, we know Kelvin Sampson. We know Sooner basketball. These guys aren't going to quit. They're not going to go away. They will continue to try to claw back into this game.
It's been a tough half for Nahara. He is 3 of 10 from the field as that ball is tipped around and knocked out of bounds by Oklahoma. 2.6 seconds showing on the clock.
Well, we'll see if they throw one long or just get it in and be done with it.
Heskett pressuring Nurse as here comes the inbounds pass. Now get it to Horton, and that should be elementary. We are at halftime. So as Spicer heads to the locker room, he has 12 first-half points, 6 of 11. Iowa State 35, Oklahoma 25. Now let's send it to Bill Pito and Digger Phelps with the 7-Up halftime report.
Ron, thank you very much. Last year, Digger, Iowa State just 15-15. Coming into this year, a lot